and welcome back to the channel. Please remember to smash the thumbs up like button and also subscribe so that way you'll be notified when the new videos come out. Alright, we're back again, and today we're installing some swing arm protectors. These are from, I believe it is Polisport. They're basically just a hard plastic shell that just basically slides on over your swing arm. It's held in place with these zip ties here. They did come with these foam strips. There's no instructions in the package, so I'm assuming these foam strips just lay in here, so that way when the plastic's up against here, there's a little bit of cushion with the foam on the metal here. And then it just uses, on the brake side, it just has two zip ties. One here at the front, one at the back, or in the middle here, and then at the back it slides over this portion back here, so it just kind of hooks onto this back end, and then you're gonna have like a zip tie here holding it, as well as a zip tie here holding it. Same thing for the sprocket side. It's gonna be the same setup over there. It just slides over, has one zip tie, two zip ties, and same thing, it hooks on there. So I haven't decided yet on how I'm gonna do this foam tape. If I put the foam tape down, then you put the zip tie through, then the zip tie is going to sit on top of the foam. And if I put it below the foam, then it's going to stick up. So I'm not sure, or if I might, because this has sticky tape on the back, if I do that, it might stick to the zip tie, and then I won't have any, when you go to tighten it, it won't want to go back and forth. So I might actually put the foam tape on there, and then just cut out a section where the zip tie would pass through. I think that's probably what I end up doing. So I'll stick down this first, find out where the zip ties fall, just trim out a little section of it, and then try that out. And they give you extra zip ties. I don't know if it's just in case you break some, or maybe they give you some extras in case you ever want to take off these covers to clean behind it. You have some extras to reattach it. It only takes 2 per side, so they give you, let's see what they gave us. 1, 2, so there's 8 of them, so you have some extras, so I guess, and also too, I guess if you break one when installing it or put it on wrong, there's a little bit of forgiveness there. So I'm going to install this foam tape on here, cut out the little release for the zip ties, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Alright, so what I did on this one is I just put one of the foam strips down, so I basically put it to the edge of the mount there and ran it all the way down, and then where the zip tie crossed, I notched it out there, as well as there. So on the next one I'll run the tape that far because I ended up just cutting it off. But when you do it this way, when you cut the foam and then you push the zip tie flush, it is almost at the same height, so I don't know if that's the correct way of doing it, but it seems right to me. The foam tape is basically the same thickness as the zip tie, so I guess, I don't know if that really shows it very well, but so I just cut those little sections out. So next I'm going to slide it on. Before I do that, I put the zip ties from the bottom up, so that way when you loop the zip tie around, you can pull straight down on the back side and tighten it, and then when you cut them off, they'll be the big heads will be at the bottom, just kind of out of the way, and just maybe for a cleaner look. So I'm going to give that a shot on this one. So basically this thing's just going to slide on here, we're going to put it there, we're going to zip tie it up, and that's the game plan. But good thing we have extra zip ties just in case that doesn't work out. So I'll do that, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I got this on there, I slid it up, we're tight back here, it's secure. Hook this zip tie around here, I got it set up where I want it. Now I was coming up here to put this zip tie on, and the zip tie, where it needs to go, falls on top of this brake line guide here, and it will go under it, it's just I can't bend it over, so I'm going to have to, so I popped the brake line out of here. This is an 8mm and an 8mm, so I'm going to pull these 2 bolts out, take this guy off, this black brake line channel, get the zip tie back on there and then put this back on. There's enough room underneath it. It's just a matter, I just can't bend the zip tie over enough to pull all the slack through, because you know I gotta pull all this through here. So I'm gonna pop that off, run the zip ties, and then we'll get back. I'll come back to you guys and show you how that was looking. Just something I just ran into. Alright, so I got those zip ties hooked around there. Let's see if you can see this. So here is the top part, and then I just pulled it tight as hard as I could. Same with this side. I fed it around the top. Make sure you don't get the brake line in there. Just make sure you're under it. Went around the frame, came down, and you can see there's the zip tie, and I just pulled straight down as hard as I could to get it tight. One key thing or word of advice, if you don't already have a pair, buy a pair of flush cutters. They will save you tons of pain and heartache, or the other people that work on your bike, or anybody that touches your bike. With flush cuts, when you cut the zip ties, it cuts them flat and square. It doesn't leave a razor blade. If you use like a pair of wire cutters, or like you know, these types of cutters, the way the blades are on these, when you cut it, it makes the tail that hangs off the bottom here like a razor blade, and it'll just cut your hands, anything that touches it. So I guess it's a pet peeve of mine, but flush cut all of your zip ties. You'll thank yourself later. I don't know how many times I've cut myself with the ends of zip ties that I used before I even knew about flush cut types. These are some Klein ones I got at Home Depot. Nothing special. I think they were like $8. You can probably get them on Amazon too. But if you use just your generic cutters, wire cutters, anything, just the way the teeth or the cutting surface is on this, and when it cuts it, it makes it like a little pyramid razor blade. So just an FYI, especially where this is, you know, you could, you know, moving your bike or grabbing it, you could cut your hand on it, you know, or it's just like a little tiny razor blade down there. So I'm going to use the flush cuts. I'm going to cut off the tails, and then once I do that, once we get the tails done, this side's done. I'm going to go to the, oh, well, actually I have to put the brake line guide back in. I mean, it's just 2 bolts, super simple, and then of course it's just the brake line just snaps into it. So I'll get that on there, and then I'll run around to the other side. I don't know if I have any issues with the chain guide, but we'll see once I get over there if that's going to be any sort of clearance issues. It might be. I know this one, the zip tie is up high, and there's a gap right there, so I don't know if we'll fall in that gap, but we'll take a look at it, get over there. In the meantime, I'm going to finish up this guy. I'm going to prep the foam tape and the zip ties on that side, and then we'll go over there. I'll get it fitted, and we'll see what we run to. So I'll be back with you guys. Alright, well, getting this the sprocket side here installed. Got it kind of held up there. It looks like this, I shouldn't have an issue with the chain slider. The zip tie should go right through there, and there's plenty of room down through here. Looks good there, here, and here. I'm sliding it on, going to fit it on, and I do have the Bulletproof Designs swing arm bracket on here, this brace for the chain guide, and the plastic of the guards here goes under, would normally go under between those two, but since I have this metal brace on here, it's hitting it. So I think I'm gonna end up trimming the plastic of this guy right here off. Is probably the easiest way to alleviate that problem, as opposed to trying to modify the aluminum bracket. So I'm gonna pull this off. I'm just gonna start trimming it and just kind of going a little bit at a time, because I can't get it on all the way to see how much I have to take off. So I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time here, and then I'll come back and show you how much ended up taking off, you know, after a few test fits here. So I'll get that taken care of, and I'll be back. All right, we're back. So in this area right here, there was a little tab that stuck out that was interfering with this area right here. This is normally this brace bracket isn't here and it slid into the swing arm. So what I did is I trimmed off this piece here. It used to be right about there. So I just took a pair of tin snips or metal snips and just cut that piece off. I got that up there, trimmed that piece off, test fitted it. Then I found that this piece was hitting that same bracket, but it comes up on an angle and it was hitting right here. So I trimmed off. This piece used to live right here. So I just trimmed off that little piece there just to give me enough clearance. Now it fits no problem. So I'm going to reinstall the zip ties, slide it back up there, get it mounted up, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Alright, we're back. So I got that side installed, no problems. Just had to, move it around and cut the zip tie down by the linkage, that's the only thing. So yeah, this is what it looks like when it's all said and done. Pretty easy install. Just one thing to remember, this side you're going to have to remove the brake cable retainer there, so that way you can get that zip tie attached on that end. Other than that, the side was fine. Over here on the sprocket side, pretty straightforward too. The only thing to remember is if you have any sort of bracer bracket down here, remember that you'll have to trim that tab off right here. And then if you have a specific bulletproof one or bulletproof designs mount, it kind of comes up here on an angle. You just have to trim off a little bit of that tab there too. So just remember that's something you'll just have to trim off. And then other than that, just attached it here with the zip ties, no issues. There's plenty of room to come up through here by the chain guide, and then there was plenty of room down here too to get through there. So there was no issues with that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Pretty easy to install. I know there's no really instructions that come with the package at all. And I think cutting the foam to clear the zip ties was a way to go, because it really made it the same dimension. So yeah, that's it. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments.